before going on, which is phenomenal.
That's right. Welcome,
There's up the energy.
ladies. Welcome to Laugh Lines and Turbulence. We have an amazing guest today, Mo Cooper, and I'm going to let Debbie, sorry about the dog, we're going to have Debbie read the bio while I put me on mute.
Okay, here we go. Coach Mo is a healthy lifestyle and nutritional coach who helps women over 50 break free from the diet cycle and step into lasting health with confidence. After navigating divorce, career changes, and rediscovering herself, she learned that small daily practices are the real key to transformation. Now she guides women to put their well being first, embrace their self worth, and face life's heavy parts with a little levity and a lot of self compassion. With her frank but uplifting style, Mo helps women keep things light so they can manage, change, find their strength, and live their best health. Mo, so happy to have you here. Welcome. Wait to hear all about it.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me here. We're already having fun. We haven't even started
Yes.
behind the scenes there.
Yep.
And I just love connecting with other women and being able to talk about empowering women of all ages, but especially us ladies, the 50 plus, because
Mhm,
so many women, they'll say, or people in general, but especially women, it's like, oh my God, the kids are grown up, they've left and they have no idea who they are outside of wife
mhm,
and mom, even in the 2025. And so I love giving that inspiration and empowerment to women like us.
mhm. Yes, yes. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. We're looking over your bio mode. Let us know, let everybody know what got you started in this. Like, what was that moment that you had, that aha moment where you're like, this is
Moment.
that
The
was your
moment.
moment. Your
Sorry.
moment.
My moment.
I'm,
You know how much
I'm a little
that messes
Couldn't
me
putty.
help it.
up when people are like, anytime someone says like, I was going to, yeah, it was the moment, and I'll be like, what? No, my moments. There's several moments, but really it was after my last ginormous child. I was never interested in health. I was in grade 10. I went to school and found out that gym class was optional. I didn't need to be there. So I'm like, I'm out. And that was the end of my fitness career. And I was like 16 years old. And never in a million years, fast forward to 39, I've had four children, the last one gaining over 65 pounds. And I never ever considered health or diet, or like, I don't mean a diet, but I mean, like what I eat, how I move. None of that was not even on my radar until after that last baby, I was trying to put on some exercise shorts in my closet. And I don't know if anyone can identify with this. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start exercising. I got this great idea. I'm gonna start exercising. And I go in and I grab these shorts and I just remember tugging them on. And it reminded me of a documentary I saw on stuffing sausage. And I'm like, I'm never going to it. I remember seeing women who were so fit and like, oh my God, that's never gonna be me. That's it. I can't do it. And then I took a deep breath. I stepped back, and this literally happened. I'm like, okay, just cool your jets. You got this. You got this. You can figure this out. And to this point, I was pretty much a kept woman, but I knew I can do this. So I realized that I had to find time for me. I had a husband who was always snarfling around for whatever, and kids always pulling on me, and volunteering in my community, all that stuff. So I started getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning. And little did I know at that time when I started getting up at 5 o'clock to work out, because that was the only time I could do it uninterrupted. Everyone was still asleep. Nobody wanted a piece of mommy. But then I started getting up early every day because I realized, oh my God, this is time to pour into me. I can have my
Mhm.
coffee, I can have my breakfast, I was reading a devotional, or,
Yeah.
back before screens became a hyper addiction. And I was thinking,
Right.
this is this is amazing. So I didn't know then, though. I had no grasp on how I was changing my life just by getting up earlier. And then as I transformed my life, by carving out time for myself, carving out time for, going to bed at a regular time, getting up at a regular time, exercise, what I was eating, paying attention to that. I had no idea that I was actually developing not only a lifestyle, but a career to help other women do it because I lost 65 pounds. I've kept it off for almost 17 years. And it's just through how I live every day. So there's so many little things along the way, but really stuffing my legs into those, trying to stuff myself into those exercise shorts was a pivotal moment. And everyone's going to have their own thing,
Mhm.
it's going to have their own like aha moment, like, oh my God, I need to get fit. And that's when I started building my confidence. And then I got divorced. So, and then I lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
Well, and I love how you're saying about the whole like starting the habit, right?
yeah,
Because it says I've read things, I've heard this that it takes a while of doing that same restructuring your pattern, right?
yes,
You're pulling yourself out of maybe unhealthy patterns and putting yourself into healthy, but it takes that little bit of that kind of growing pains,
yes. Oh
well, to
yeah.
get into that.
There's trial and error for sure. And something I
Mhm.
always say is you want to make sure it's doable. Never, ever, ever set, I'm going to do these 10 things. No, 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 no. I started by getting up early and exercising 2 or 3 times a week. That was all I was doing in the beginning. And
Yeah.
it will naturally kind of go, but like, turn into something. But it's that consistency. But yeah, but when we try to do everything at once, that is a recipe for failure, pun intended, for sure.
Yeah.
It's a bit overwhelming when you're trying to do it all at once. Just,
Mhm.
It
you know,
is,
the
and then we
small
fail.
change.
We crash and burn.
Yeah.
I ran into
Right.
this woman. She struggled with her weight her whole life, and she said, I did all the meal prep and I did the planning and all this, and she listed off like all these things. She said, "Ugh, after 2 weeks, I was like, forget it. I'm not doing it anymore."
Mhm.
And it's amazing, isn't it amazing how you think back about these little stories and things that happen to you during your life that shapes you into where you
Hmm.
are now, like the little conversations that you have. I mean, I ran into her at the grocery store. And it was in that moment I thought, yeah, well, that's exactly it. Like trying to do everything at once. But that's also as we get older, trying to,
Mhm.
Yeah.
we have to give ourselves grace.
Yes.
And when
Yes.
menopause,
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
that's a whole other kettle of wax, as my sister would say.
Yes. Yeah, it sure is.
For
Yes.
sure. Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, but it's not just about, what I do, but it's honestly, but in your question, something that you ask is not to jump the gun, but you said what the aha moment in 2020. I had I was separated from my then husband, and I was reading the book by Sugar Honey Iced Tea. I forget her name. It was a really big. It was called Untamed.
Mhm.
It was really big. I mean, we're all in lockdown. I'm sitting in the backyard
Mhm.
listening to this book. And she says, I was staying in my marriage for my daughter, but then I thought, is this a marriage I would want for my daughter? And I said
Oh,
out loud, no.
wow.
And that
Mm,
was it. That
yeah.
was like, because I was a kept woman for so many years. I mean, who can relate to losing, I think I was saying before, losing your identity. From the time I was 28, when I met my then husband, or, who would be my husband,
Hmm.
wasn't fully formed. I didn't, and then I had such low self-esteem. I had
Yes.
no self-confidence whatsoever. Um, there were glimmers, but honestly, I had all these limiting beliefs. I never, ever, ever
Hmm.
thought I could live on my own. Like,
Mhm.
no, this was it. I'm here forever because I could never get a job or,
Hmm.
be
Yeah.
self-sustaining. And for everyone listening who thinks that, it's not true. It's not true. If you want it badly enough, you will make it happen because
Mhm.
and when you do, it's not just about getting a job, it's about on like having that love for yourself, like understanding what you can do, what you show up for. And when you start showing up for yourself, like what a beautiful thing that is. It's just,
Mhm.
it's wonderful. I saw it in myself and now I get to see it in others, which is awesome.
I love that.
I love that. I love how you said showing up for yourself and loving yourself, like putting yourself first. In a way, putting yourself first by what you just said. Do you want that kind of marriage for your daughter? You know, it's like you can't help anybody else unless you first have that self-awareness and start helping yourself first and start taking care of yourself and being that example for everybody else.
Yes.
Um,
That's
and
that's
I
what I think
think,
about. Sorry, go
yes, and I think it's wonderful. Like we have it, for women our age now too. We're in this now wonderful era where we have the support, especially the Gen X and older now. Now
ahead.
we're talking more about it. We're being more open about it and
Yes.
supporting each other even more. So this is
Yeah.
fabulous. Yeah.
I love it. That's why I give out these stickers though. Can you read that? It says, I freaking love me.
Oh, I love
I love it. Oh, I love it.
I'm like, you get it. Because women have
Yeah.
such a hard time loving themselves.
Yeah.
And I heard a story recently. This woman, she didn't know it, but she was having I can't remember if it was a heart attack or stroke. She was having an episode, a serious episode. She did not want to call the ambulance because she did not want to put anyone out. And I said, Brenda, if that was your child, if that was your loved one, what would you have done? She didn't hesitate because I would have called the ambulance. I would have said, get in that car.
Right.
I'm taking you to the hospital right now. I was like, well, why would you do that for someone else and not for yourself?
Right.
And it was like
Right.
a light went on. She's like, oh, yeah, that's a
Mhm.
great question.
Mhm.
Like, why do we do that? It's not selfish
Right.
Yeah.
to
Right.
prioritize ourselves.
Yes.
Mhm.
And you got to get out of that mindset that it's selfish. I think, when we say, I love, love yourself, but, love yourself first. And it's just we have to get out of that habit or people having that misconception that it is selfish. It's the least selfish really thing you can do
Yeah.
because again, once again, you cannot be there for anyone or be an example for anyone unless you really do take care of yourself and fill your cup of love first.
Oxygen mask.
Yes.
I say it all the time. I love that.
All the
Yes,
time.
ma'am.
Yeah.
Even at work, I'm like, when I tell the parents, oxygen mask on first, because you cannot help them unless you take care of
Mhm.
yourself. And it is so
Right.
true. Use
Yes.
that analogy. It's so true.
Yeah.
Yes. I
Yeah.
also love, yeah, every time I see that, or I'm on the plane and I hear that, I'm like, mm-hmm. And I have a funny story about that for another time. But I love the quote, compassion that doesn't include yourself is incomplete. Like that's why I teach women and anyone I meet. I mean, someone at the grocery store,
Yes.
Yeah.
treat yourself like a most precious loved one.
Hmm.
Why not?
Right.
Right.
Why
Right.
not? But I believe we're taught that somewhere along the
Yes.
way. It's
I
Hmm.
think so much in life, and Debbie and I have had this conversation, we're taught as women, and
Hmm.
Jill, Mo, her book, Loud Woman, like we're taught to stay quiet, stay
yeah,
Hmm.
silent, don't rock the boat, don't make waves, don't
yeah.
inconvenience other people.
Right.
Yes.
So these messages are poured onto us from a very young
Hmm.
age throughout our whole lives.
Mm-hmm.
And
Hmm.
now we're walking messes.
Yeah. Yeah.
We are. And
Shit.
there's other things
Right.
that and other stuff that get mixed into it too. And Mo, like you were saying, like limiting beliefs, even growing up, like I grew up, my family was from Eastern Europe. Oh my God, the passive aggressiveness. My mother was she is the travel agent of guilt trips. You know what I'm saying? So she's like
Pack your bags, going on a guilt trip.
going on a guilt trip. It was just like it was there, also the passive aggressiveness and also like, the criticism, growing up. Like I was a chubby kid. My parents starved in Eastern Europe, so they like overfed me and my brother.
Right.
And there was the guilt trip of like, if you don't finish everything in your plate, we had to, beg for food. We had nothing to eat back in this, country in Eastern Europe. And so it was a lot of the guilt tripping. And then, like, after, as it's like a preteen, then my parents are like, well, you're too fat. And, I have to buy you clothes again because you're not fitting into this. I'm like, well, you kind of stuffed us, didn't you? You kind of messed us up and are messing us up again in a way. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, you
And
kind of
that
bring
was
those
so
voices.
so typical of our era too, because like my mom was the second youngest of 13, raised
Mhm.
during the Depression. and
That's my
then
mom.
was widowed with 6 kids at the age of 37. My father passed away when I was 2. So then she's widowed with 6 kids.
Mm.
And so, I mean, we had that poverty mentality, and it was feast or famine. Either you're being stuffed or
Yep.
we don't know where the next meal is coming from. So like that
Right.
kind and ingrained. So actually, except for all those, adverse side effects, good for your parents to feed you. I was always the skinny kid growing up because all my cousins they always had gravy with everything. I said they had gravy on their cornflakes. I swear to God. Just
Mm.
had the sugary things. My mom was like, nope, 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 not in our house. No fancy sugary cereals, none of that. We would just ladle like, half a cup of sugar onto our dry
On your
Cheerios.
frosted flakes, right?
Frosted, yeah.
Yeah, we made our
The
own
un
frosted flakes.
the corn flakes were unfrosted. You had to put your own on.
Yeah, yeah, they were not frosted. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then you get the sugar sludge at the bottom. So
Oh yeah.
and that's when we said we get the diabetes because thank you,
Yeah.
Wilford Brimley.
Yeah.
So it was such, and I think so many of us can relate to those as Gen Xers,
Mhm.
those patterns and I was talking to a Jewish friend of mine the other day and we were going back and forth like, oh my mother, Catholics and Jewish mother-in-law type, they have the market cornered on guilt trips for sure because I think Catholics are just as bad as the Jewish community. So it's amazing, but we learn. So how do you get past it? How do you get past those limiting beliefs?
Hmm. Hmm.
I know. Do you want to know?
Yeah, we want to know.
Tell us, please.
Let us
Tune
know.
in. Tune in next time.
No, don't leave us
Got to give a cliffhanger, make it exciting.
hanging.
No, it's those daily actions. It's those small
Yeah.
ways that you show up for yourself. Like,
Yes.
where you're like, good job, kid. Like when you do
Yes.
things for
Mm-hmm.
yourself, whether it's like cleaning the kitchen at night, so or setting up your coffee pot, or turning the light off when you really want to read, or watch one more podcast. Nothing wrong with podcasts.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
you know, honoring yourself and
Yeah.
really saying, no, I'm worthy of this love and care, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to treat myself accordingly like I would someone else. And
Yeah.
Yes.
and it's those, and then as you do that, you start to unravel those beliefs that you have about yourself because you start
Mm-hmm.
to believe like, no, and it's not at all in like a narcissistic way, but just
Right.
I am, I mean, I'm a child of God. I'm a miracle.
Mm-hmm.
I am, now I'm thinking of Ross from Friends, speaking of our generation. And he's like, I am a miracle child. Like, but but we are miracles.
Yes.
Sell ourselves short. So those small daily actions, when you start pouring into yourself, they
Mhm.
really start to change how you feel about yourself. It's pretty tricky. It's sneaky, but it's sneaky
Yeah.
Mhm.
for
Well,
sure.
and I love your take, Mo, and I've watched so many of your video clips. They really brighten my day. Absolutely love them. For all of you who are curious, she goes on Facebook. She does these great videos of
Mhm.
just inspirational things. But right at the end, you always give your viewers a message. And what is that message?
God bless. Love you. That is a command, my friend, and I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's that affirmation and
Yes.
that
Love you. Yeah,
yes. Yeah.
that is a command. Because I don't
Yeah.
want a bunch of stalkers saying, she said she loves me. No, I'm telling you to love you.
That's what I was thinking. No.
And I love. And then things got quiet and awkward.
Yeah, right. That's
I
funny.
gotta go.
Yeah, yeah, right, right. Yeah, but I
Yeah,
love
no.
that because that's even one step people can take.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Take
yeah.
a little step, and then
It,
those turn into more steps.
yes.
Yeah.
And that's why I say put this somewhere you need to remind yourself
Yeah.
that to love you. Like, I freaking love me. This comes from a sign that a friend gave me for Christmas several years ago. It says, I freaking love you. And I love it. We've
Yeah.
been friends for over 20 years and she's just awesome. And I was sitting on the couch one day and I looked at it and I was like, I freaking love me. And And so it was born. And so I give this and say, put
Mhm.
this on your bathroom mirror, on your water bottle, wherever you're going to see it all the time.
I love that.
So many of my clients come to me, not only can they not say they love themselves or look in the mirror and say they love themselves, they can't even look in the mirror. And
Yeah.
that's a big deal. Like
That's huge.
they
Yeah.
won't,
Mhm.
they don't want to see themselves because
No.
they don't see the person that they were. I see their beauty. I
Yeah.
see their sparkle. I see their amazingness. But
Yeah.
my job is for them to get them to see it too.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's
You,
amazing
Yeah.
with the work I do. I do these assessments with people, with women, mainly
Mhm.
women. Sometimes it's men, but mainly with women and their caregivers. And we go through the whole assessment, and they're talking all about their person they're taking care of, and they're just like going on and on and on. They got it all,
Right.
right?
yeah.
I get to the one question: what are your biggest strengths? What do you mean? Like, and it's really alarming that so many women, when you get to that question, they
Yeah.
don't know
Mhm.
how to speak to that.
Yes.
Mhm.
It takes courage.
Yeah.
Takes bravery. Why is it easier to clean someone else's house? Because there's nothing personal. There's no
Yeah.
Right.
personal attachment. If you go in and you got someone else's house, you clean, no personal, your own. It's like if you're cleaning out stuff, like, oh, I get this from so and so, and
Right.
We need it someday.
yeah, I know.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally. The attachments to that. Yeah.
Yes, and it's the same thing with our own work. It's so much easier to try and fix other people's
Mm.
problems than it is. It takes a certain strength, it takes courage,
Mhm.
and giving ourselves that courage to say, like, I may not like what I see, but that's okay. That's okay. It's okay to not be happy with things at first because it's like getting to know someone. So many people don't
Yeah.
even know themselves. And so
Yeah.
getting to know, that's why I have the golden Buddha. Do you guys know the story of the golden Buddha?
No, I don't.
Mm.
This is a very, 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 very rough translation. But basically, there was this golden Buddha in this village hundreds of years ago in Asia somewhere. And
Mhm.
there were marauding bands of thieves coming from town to town. So they covered it in plaster so it would look like just a cheap old
Yeah.
statue. So they passed it by. Hundreds of years go by, and it kind of gets forgotten about. And so these people come in, they're trying to move it, and it's like crazy heavy. And they realize so they start chipping away the plaster and discover this golden Buddha. It's golden in the middle and the center. And so for me, we're born like golden. We've got no labels put
Yes.
on us. We
Right.
are we are unmarred, unscarred, no
Mhm.
baggage yet, no nothing.
Perfect.
Yeah, we're
Perfect and beautiful and happy. Yep.
yes.
Mhm.
And then it's like all these
Mhm.
labels get put us on us.
Yes.
Canadian, you're
Yeah.
American, you're white, you're black, you're Jewish,
Yep.
you're
Yeah.
Christian, you're whatever. As
Right.
Yeah.
papa, you're slow, you're too
Mhm.
smart, you're too tall,
Mhm.
you're too short, whatever the case may be. All these things.
All of the above. Yeah.
So
The programming that
yes,
goes in.
the
Mhm. Yeah.
programming.
Yeah.
I feel like we're covered in flyers that are
Yes.
ridiculous.
Yes.
So
That
as
everybody attached to us. They
yes,
were flyers that people attached to us. Yes.
yes, we didn't ask for this.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
so but then when you start to do, start to kind of, I find like over 50, oh, I don't care. Like, I mean, there's that license to just be yourself
Yes.
after 50. I think especially for us Gen Xers, because we grew up
Yes.
all the words, right? And they weren't offensive, and we just said all the words. And now my
Mhm.
Yes.
17-year-old's like, Mom, you can't say that. I'm like, I don't mean it. Like this is what
Right.
I grew up with. Now,
Yes.
so there's a certain element of no F's given, which is very handy, but you can start to give more F's about yourself. And when you
Hmm.
do that, those layers start to peel away. And you
Yeah.
start getting back to that golden
Yes.
center that is your you is you, to quote.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That and so it's such a beautiful thing when you see women really to calm down, find
Hmm.
peace, and like they come to me for weight loss, but it's losing the mental and emotional weight first,
Yes.
Oh,
and
I love that.
then
Yes.
goes. And
Yes.
it's just I just love what I do. And
Yeah.
there's a fun practice for anyone listening. So I took a positive intelligence course years ago, and we had this assignment, and you had to find a picture of yourself as a child. I think it's like 9 or under, where you are at your essence, like the very whatever it is, that maybe you're athletic or you're laughing or whatever it is. And so there's this picture of me. I'm 18 months
Aw.
old here. This is in
Hmm.
our country cabin in Newfoundland. I don't really know where that is. It's in Canada.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And
No.
they woke up one morning at the country cabin, and they go into my crib to get me, and I'm gone. And they're freaking out, and they're running around the cabin trying to find me, and they find me behind the cabin at the edge of the dark scary woods with the wolves and the bears and all the things, playing in my sandbox. And I just imagine my 18 months old self waking up in the morning, everyone's still asleep. I'm like, I got things to do. So I'm just gonna get out of my crib, get out of my room, get out of the cabin, and get to my sandbox.
Yeah.
And that, and so every day when I sit down, I was like, okay, girl, we got things to do, because she is me. That
Yes.
determination, that focus, that goal, that seeking that goal is me. So when you find that picture of
Yeah.
you at your total essence and have that constant reminder of who you are before the world got a hold of you, it's
Yes.
Yeah.
a really powerful thing. I
I love
recommend it to
that.
everyone listening. It's just
Yes.
such a great practice for sure.
It's so
Love that.
beautiful. I
It
love
is
that.
so beautiful. I love that.
Yeah, that was probably the highlight of that course. It was awesome. Well,
Mhm.
all kinds of other great things, but yeah, it's amazing because we have so much to offer. And I
Mhm.
spent too many years being
Absolutely.
fearful and angry and bitter and all that junk. You know what? Didn't get me squat,
Mhm.
except an unhappy life.
Yeah.
So
Right.
yeah, the sooner you start letting
Right.
stuff go, the better off you'll be. That's what we say.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
That book that you mentioned earlier, Mo, was that Untamed? Was that by Glennon Doyle?
Yes, Glennon Doyle. That's right. I knew she
Yeah.
had
So
a
for
name.
anyone who's listening, if you're interested,
Mhm.
the author is Glennon, Glennon Doyle.
Doyle. Yeah.
Untamed is the title.
Yeah, it was really that was a real that was like I said, like we were saying before the recording, there are no coincidences. But the thing is, when you're calm, when you're not frantic, not living in fear,
Yes.
you are open to miraculous things. You're open to
Yes.
serendipitous things. They don't just slide by.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
that's like a bonus to
Yeah.
being in your own
Mhm.
energy, in your own self, in your own
Yes.
flow, and it's because I love it. Like when you said you told me that what you did earlier, I'm like, that's crazy. When you have moments, like we don't want to squander them. I can be like, oh, that's interesting. Anyway. But it's like miracles are happening all the time, but it's
All
All the
us
around us.
time.
being tuned in,
Yes.
because
Yes. Yes.
we can
And,
so
and you're
yeah.
right, Mo. I think when you clear away some of those cobwebs,
Yeah.
and you start like when you clear away the cobwebs of those beliefs, and you start finding who you are, like you said, the essence of yourself, and
Yeah.
start honoring yourself and loving yourself, you let those miracles come in, and you start listening to your intuition, and
Mm,
you start tuning out people that are coming from their own like beliefs and their experiences. And that's
Mhm.
another thing about loving yourself is really just you know, respecting your intuition and
Yeah.
listening to that. Yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
and then like you said, the miracles just flow in.
Yeah.
They just start popping up everywhere. The synchronicities, the miracles, the ideas pop up. It's miraculous.
It
How we share that with other people is wonderful.
I think
it
there's a lot to be
is.
said about like vibrationally, like
Yeah.
when we clear out the negativity and we're on a higher vibration frequency. And so we're gonna attract those positive things,
Yeah.
those miracles that are all around us. We're gonna draw those into us if we're out of
Yes.
the negative, like Debbie said, clearing the cobwebs.
Yes.
all that out.
It's everyone has to come to it on their own, and a
Yeah.
lot of people will never, like,
Right.
because it's like I said, it takes courage. And so some
Mhm.
people are so entrenched in their fears
Yeah.
that they stay in those cobwebs. They stay stuck behind that need to control everything. It's a lot of letting go, man. It's a lot
Yes.
of like, you know what,
Right.
Well,
outside my realm.
it's not serving them well, but the thing
Yeah.
is, it's what they know, and the
Yeah.
unknown is even scarier to them. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's why I like to come in the back door. So I'll be talking about things like what was it the other day? I said nobody likes to be lied to. And I said, because I thought that steel cut oats were far superior to rolled oats. This is what I was told, and it was told by my friend's husband, and he sounded very convincing. And I was like, he knows things, sure. And I said this to my friend. She goes, I don't think that's true. No, you look it up. I don't think that's true. And I looked, and I was like, dang it. I was like, I'm like, my bad, because and I said, it annoys me when I don't look things up. And that's my way,
Uh-huh.
telling a story like that, relating it to health. I'm also saying, make sure you do your research. Make sure you don't just believe things blindly, whether it be about something in the news, something about your neighbor, or something about
Mhm.
yourself.
Yes.
Right.
So coming in the back, I always call that backdoor preaching.
Yeah.
Coming in the back door, talking about tangible things, but that actually has deeper meaning to it. And I feel like
Yeah.
we're planting seeds because coming head on to people and saying like, you just need to be happier, you just need to love yourself,
Yeah.
that doesn't work. But
Right.
but when you're talking about life things, um, and talking about things
Mhm.
that they can do, like they
Yes.
Yes.
physically do, and how that starts to shift things, and it's just like a morphing, and
Yeah.
unfortunately, like, there's some people I know, like, I don't know if that's ever going to happen. I would love for it to, but it's the old, you can lead a horse to water, can't make it,
Yeah.
but you
Right.
can
Right.
plant seeds because you never
You
know.
can.
You
Right.
Yeah.
never know who is ready to receive,
Yeah.
Yes.
you know?
Yes.
So it's important
I
for
worked with,
everyone.
it's so important. It's funny how you said it. You never know who's ready to receive. And I had worked with someone the other day, and I don't know, I'm sure, well, you're so approachable, and your personality is just, you just want to, you just get all this information from you. You're very easy to talk to. And I've had people like, when I'm working, just all of a sudden they'll sit next to me and all of a sudden start saying all these things. And I'm like, oh, here it comes. They're starting to, let some things out into the air and open. And they want to change everybody. They're like, my mother is doing this, my, fiance or my boyfriend and my brother and my sister, and, wanting to change everyone. And I sometimes will look at them, well, you can't change them, but how about starting with like you and how you respond to them? So I think we forget that we have to start with ourselves, and
Yes.
Right.
they do need to hear the message. And you said like sometimes you hear the message, and she was just like, yeah, like I'm like, where's your part in all this?
Yeah.
Where's your half in all this?
Yes, a really good way to do that is ask questions. That's why I have
Yeah,
this Riddler tattoo. Let me see.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I
Oh
ask
yeah.
questions. I'm always like, I got my kids like, it's like, do you know that for sure? Did you do the research? I always ask questions. So good for someone who says that, I would say, so you're saying that, your brother does this, your mother does that, your sister's a wayward soul, whatever the case may be.
Mhm,
So how do you respond to that? Like what
mhm.
is your perspective like as far as you go? So and then start talking about perspective. Start talking
Yeah,
about how she sees things. Why do you think that is? Why do you think you look at it that way?
yeah.
Why is it? So then you're starting to ask questions
Question.
that
Yeah.
are making her reflect rather
Yeah.
than say, that's what I mean, it's that back door, right? So coming in
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
and just say, you know, where it doesn't feel so, yeah, well, what are you doing? Because that's
Right.
exactly what we want to say for sure. And that's what I used to say. But now when we plant these seeds, because that's exactly what people, because otherwise you're going to live a life of being a victim, right? And
Oh,
uh,
for sure. Yeah.
It's that drama triangle. Have you ever read it's a big I'm like I'm really good at books. Not good at remembering titles. But they talk about the I think it's the drama triangle where there's
Okay.
the hero, the victim, and the villain. And
Mm.
so if you're any of those roles in a situation, then you need to kind of check yourself before you wreck yourself. Because if you're the
Mhm.
victim, and you're blaming everyone else. You're not taking your own power. If you're the hero, you're looking to get that getting that saving someone. You're getting that again, that affirmation from something outside yourself. And if you're the villain, that sometimes the victim or the hero turns into the villain and you're the bad person and you're saying like, well, I did this, and you're showing up as the villain. And often the victim will designate the hero and the villain. You can start being
Yeah.
and then suddenly you're the villain. If you identify as any of those things, it's time to step back and say, what if I weren't any of those things? What if I was just, an objective observer and took
Yeah.
my feelings out, not want to inject myself into anything and just listen and just, so it's a whole thing. But it's really interesting when you start viewing it as that way because victimhood, hero, or villain, you're always being defined by things externally. You're
Yeah.
Mhm.
always looking for validation outside
Yeah.
yourself. And
Yes.
it's a trap. It's a trap. Some
Yeah.
Is
Star
it
Wars
called
trap.
Hero on a Mission?
What's that?
Is it called Hero on a Mission? A path
No,
to
it's
a
really it's
meaningful
used.
life?
It's used in it was an Oprah. I remember it was one of the first the Celestine Prophecy. That's what it was. He talks about it in that book. It was like one of the first Oprah
Oh,
Club
Okay.
books many,
Okay.
many, many moons ago.
yes.
And
Great book, by the way. Yes.
yes, and I
You
can't
got that one, Debbie?
Yes, I do.
Probably does.
but it's
Yeah.
because then you're taking your power away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time we identify as one of those things, we are who we are because of what other people say, what other,
Yes.
and so it's really when we get to, and that's why after, like I said, after 50, where you have a license to give fewer Fs about, about,
Right.
what others think when you're, and that doesn't mean that you go out and just start blasting everyone, because again, it comes back to that vibrational frequency, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
You don't want to do that either because you have to live in that world,
Mm-hmm.
that angry, bitter world. And you can do that. You're
Yeah.
probably going to alienate people. And,
Right.
sometimes we might want to
Mm.
alienate people. But, but
Yeah.
but being the greatest gift you can ever give yourself is being autonomous and accountable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Taking responsibility for your actions it's just so liberating. It's
Yeah.
so liberating
Mm.
because and not being at the mercy of everyone and everything around you. So,
Right.
Yeah.
looking at
Absolutely.
Facebook, I love the stories because I know it's just a highlight reel. It's not
Yeah.
like I
Yeah.
know what my life is like.
Yeah. Right.
you
Right.
know?
Yeah. I love that. I absolutely love that.
Yeah. So we
Yeah.
reap what we sow,
I
but
do.
but when we're sowing seeds, it gives meaning to life. And it's easy for me. I remember someone said we have a competition to go out and compliment people. I'm like, but I do that all the time. It's not really a competition for me. I'm that obnoxious person in the grocery store. Oh my God, I love that shirt. Where did you get it? It's always like, well, I was on safari in Southern Africa. I'm like, of course you were. Never anything convenient. Well, can't you just say
Right. No.
Amazon, not the Amazon?
That's
The
awesome.
literal Amazon.
Yeah, the literal Amazon. That's typically what happens. But yeah. So have we solved all the world's problems yet?
I think we have. If people want to learn more about Chumo or talk to you about possibly working with you, what's the best way that they can find you?
If they want to book a call with me, it's 20-minute call. I would say 20 minutes. I'm kind of like the Santa Claus of healthy lifestyle coaches or coaches because I say, come to me and I will help you find what you need. It may be me, but it may be someone else. And maybe like if
Mhm.
I'm not a good fit for you, so it's like a miracle on 34th Street. If we don't have what you need, we'll find who does. And
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
love doing that because so many times people come to me and we have found other coaches. They just need different, or therapists even, or, like whatever it is, you need to be healthier because clearly you want that.
Yeah.
I don't have, of course, the lady I did it the other day, and then she ended up signing up for 6 months. I was like, I wasn't prepared for this. She goes, no, I think I'd really like to work with you. I'm like, oh, okay. It's not in my notes, but but it's great because she's really excited and I'm excited for her. But just like 20 minutes, sometimes it's just a little shift, to see a new perspective, to see what's possible.
Yeah.
I like to present what is possible. So that's at timewithcoachmo.com, and you can book a call there.
Yeah.
And it's an easy, it's 20 minutes out of your life, and it could mean a change for like the rest of your life,
A beautiful shift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A beautiful
Yeah.
shift. I love it. That's great.
Yeah.
Very good.
Any
All
closing thoughts?
Yeah. Well, thanks so much for joining us today, Mo. We are just so thrilled to have you here. And folks, if you want to talk to Mo and just kind of shake things out, get in touch with her. We will put her links in the boxes, whatever the chat, whatever you call it.
I
Her
know.
stuff
What do you
will be
say?
there.
In the place.
We'll put the links in the description.
Yeah, right. So
That's perfect. Thank you so much for having me. This has been so much fun. My face hurts from smiling. So.
Mine does too. Mine does too. We were exercising our cheeks right here.
Yeah,
that's right.
yeah.
That's
We're
right.
increasing that collagen. Next time we'll talk about ways you can defy gravity.
Yeah.
Tape.
Yeah. This is the last one
The
part of it.
102nd way of using duct tape.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mo.
Yes. Thank you so much, Mo. It was a pleasure meeting you and talking with you.
Thank you.
Really
Same with you both. I so appreciate this. This was so fun. If you ever want to do it again, talk about other stuff, I would totally be down. You guys are great.
Oh, that would be amazing. We could go into so much depth on so many things. It'd be wonderful.
Yeah, this was the tapas of over 50 life.
Yes. All right.
For sure. Well, thanks so much. This was great.
You bet.
Okay.